Laura. Welcome to my channel. And what I'm talking about today here in my kitchen, what I decided to make this video about today is just about talking to people, trying to give people some different ideas on planning ahead meals, planning ahead on ideas and strategies to succeeding on this raw vegan lifestyle. And one of the things that I like to do is sprout. I've been sprouting for 4 years now, and about a year after I was raw vegan, I started on some small sprouts, and I sprout things like sunflower sprouts, and I've even done wheatgrass and things like that. And stuff like that could be a little bit more complicated if you don't have time, but for people that are overwhelmed with time and they don't know where to start on different things, this is a good way to get sprouting. And it's great for during the winter months, because my husband and I have a big garden in the summer, but in the winter months you're in the house, there's not much, and you know, you're trying to get produce, good produce at your local co-ops and stuff, but a lot of times the fruit and stuff is not as abundant and things like that. So I try to eat more greens, and I do try to get the fruits that I can, like bananas, and I'm always buying watermelons. Have been pretty good this year, but sometimes you can't find things like that, and it could be harder to get satiated on foods and feel full and to have that nutrition. Now, I think sprouting is the most nutritious possible way to stay on a raw vegan lifestyle and to really feel that high energy that we all want to feel. So these are clover sprouts, and this is really super simple to do. You know, these things are pretty cheap, and if you want to get some mason jars, or you have regular mason jars, the wide mouth mason jars, and these particular tops, I think they came with about maybe 8 of them, and 4 of them have this little gadget so that you always need to drain the water out. That's the important thing, is making the water get out, because the drier they are, and sometimes I move them around, especially with broccoli and clover sprouts, that I have done that. And you know, I always keep these little things for dried chickpeas and stuff like that, because I sprout these a lot. And I think chickpeas, now this is what I wanted to really talk about a little bit, is the fact that a lot of people are saying that they just don't feel full and satiated, they're not getting enough protein, and chickpeas is a great way to get protein. These take no time at all you do is soak them. Usually I soak them 12 hours overnight, and you know, I just screw this thing on, and all you do is, you know, leave them in a position where the water comes out, and within sometimes 24 hours you'll start to see some sprouts. And another great thing for higher protein and a more full feeling is lentil sprouts. So these lentils are already starting to sprout, and this is a mix that I have that it actually has a few of the chickpeas and a few others, and these are all organic, and I keep them in my refrigerator. So these are ways that could be really economical too, because I would buy these off of Amazon, make sure they're organic, and just stick them in the refrigerator, and they last such a long time. So that's one thing that I think is a real great simple thing to do, and you're always ahead with these sprouts. Same way as I showed you in the beginning with all of those other sprouts, they just go in water, and you soak them about 12 hours or so, and then all you do is drain them out and put them upside down on that simple little gadget and go. And you can have all kinds of sprouts going all the time. And these are the broccoli sprouts that I always get. I always leave them in my refrigerator, all of my sprouts, and they're always organic. And if this seems like a lot, it's really not, because once you get the hang of doing these things and you have these things, you have all this food. And when you come home, you can just put together a simple salad by just throwing together some kale and throwing in a bunch of sprouts and adding other things that you like. I love to eat seaweed. I will cut up some kombu and, you know, the drier from Maine, the dry whole leaf kind that I like to just kind of cut up and put in there, because you want to feel satiated and you want to find out what it is that makes you feel good and what it is that's going to make you feel full and actually look forward to eating. And one of the things I look forward to is my salads, and I try if I can to make dressing in the morning, which I made this morning. And these things, if you buy enough produce to just always keep things like zucchini and celery, and I throw some dulse in there. I always have those little dried dulse, the tiny little flake kind, and I throw that in there with a lemon, and you've got yourself a delicious salad dressing. And you can add whatever you want to it, but they taste absolutely delicious. They're whole food, there's no oils and all that kind of stuff, and it's already there ready for me, and it only takes me about 10-15 minutes in the morning to do that. And another thing that I do is I have always gotten this rice. It's not really rice, it's actually a grass, and it's the only kind that I have found that you can actually soak and it gets soft, and it's by Lundberg. And I have some soaking right now because I like to add these kinds of things to my salads. And the reason I think it's important for people to start adding these things to their salads is because it's not realistic for people to make raw lasagnas and pizzas every day when they're in a busy schedule. I mean, those things are really fun, and you know, they are more nutritious than the average kind of lasagnas and pizzas and things of that nature. But when you're living in a lifestyle where we're always in a hurry, we need ways to come home and just be able to put things together like this. And people have said to me a lot of times, well, salads just don't make them full, there's not enough protein, there's not enough. This is ways to bulk up salads and look forward to salads. Things like dressings, which I also added this pumpkin seed butter. Now, I keep butters, you know, like different almond butter, pumpkin seed butter, different butters like that. But I also have the seeds sometimes, and sometimes I'll just use the seeds. If I don't have it and I'm in a hurry, I'll just use that. But it's a plan ahead thing that you have to know the things that you need to have. And once you get enough of these things and you've got everything, it kind of goes just really smooth, so that you can stay on this lifestyle. But you have to be able to get full. You can't feel like, oh, I'm having a boring salad, and you're gonna feel hungry, and then you're gonna feel like reaching for something else that you shouldn't eat. You have to have these things ahead so that you can feel full. And I have to say that these things are very satisfying and delicious in salads. Things like chickpeas, they taste so good. And you can also make, not guacamole, but I always forget what you call that stuff that you make out of chickpeas, but it's absolutely delicious. You add tahini, you add the tahini to that, and it comes out great, and it's very, very filling. And also another thing is quinoa. You can also sprout these, and these are very filling and have a lot of protein. So there's lots of ways that you can stay satiated and have great salads and add all these things into your salads to bulk them up and to feel full. And if you work out like I do and you lift weights and things, you need more than just greens all the time. You need to add some of these more denser foods and to feel better and to have more energy and to be ahead of the game. So I hope that this might have helped somebody who's out there struggling, trying to figure out ways to stay ahead and to afford these things. Affording these things, sometimes buying them in bulk and buying them in bigger things that you keep all the time, so that when you go to the grocery store, you're just buying produce and you're ahead of the game with all this other stuff. So I'm just going to end with that, and I'm going to read this, and this is out of Proverbs, and this is chapter 8, verse 32, and it says, "Now therefore listen to me, my children, for blessed are those who keep my ways." So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and have a wonderful, blessed day.